Alright, welcome back to another mysterious adventure of the workbench in the hands. Yes, it's the hands. Welcome back to Barn Built RC. I thank everybody for stopping by, whoever does, whoever doesn't, and whenever you see this. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys stopping in, building the channel little by little. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere. Where that exactly is, we don't know yet, but we're getting somewhere. Sooner or later, we're going to do a more personal video. Yeah, you get to see the face behind the hands. You know, I'm not all about the hands thing. It's just, this is where we do our work. So it's kind of a thing of, pay attention to the work, don't pay attention to me, because I will ruin your day. I will get stupid, goofy, get off the rails. We're headed that direction already, and we're not 5 minutes into this video. So, yeah, here we are. Barn Built RC, it's fitting, we are in a barn. Sooner or later you will get a state of the barn. Just a little bit of a tour of this disaster area. It's pretty much a mess. We've been cleaning up a little bit, time off over the holidays. I had to use some vacation days before I lose them, so we've been doing things. Yeah, so here we are. Another fun night, getting a little bit chilly out there. Got the heater was running. We heat the place very primitively in a sense. Not like the house, we actually heat the house with coal. In here, I got a torpedo heater, salamander heater, whatever you call it. So during the video session, since I'm not equipped with the fanciest HVAC natures in the Northeast here, where it does get a little cooler this time of the year, it's a little noisy. So if that thing turns on by chance, video's done. It's over. The salamander has spoken. Yeah, so we got to heat it up, cook it where it is kind of right now a little bit, and simmer it down a little bit as we go with the video. And then when I had enough of, it's getting a little chilly in here for some t-shirt weather, we turn the heater back on and we say, hey, goodbye, see you later. I've bothered you folks enough. The ridiculousness is over until the next episode. But until then, we are toasty, we are warm, and we're going to get on with this adventure of the hands. Okay? So, a little bit of time coming. I've been trying to get the vehicle done. I didn't really want to go through a bunch of different videos on it because I can't get out there and test right now the crawler course. All right, can we talk tonight? Tonight for me, today, tomorrow. I'm not sure when you guys are seeing it, but crawler course isn't exactly done. It's in the works. It's in the mix. Monday or Tuesday, I'm probably going to run out, get some more rock, see if I could get out there between wet weather, the ground not drying out. It's just this time of the year in the Northeast, it just bleh. Just bleh. So I don't get a lot of time out there with the trucks. I don't like putting them through the mud. I don't have my approaches done yet on the side of the course. So for as small as it is at the moment, it's still going to be a fun test. There is some things out there that I don't even know if this guy over here is going to enjoy without me switching some rocks around. There are some lines, and I found a few just playing around with my Class 2, and yeah, I don't know yet. It's a work in progress. It'll take some time, but until we get to the testing part, probably spring, unfortunately. I don't know if I'm going to get frozen around. We don't freeze that much around here. We used to. It's kind of it's in the past. Past the past, my friends. So, yeah. So I don't know what we're going to do for testing-wise other than going over some products, things I like, things I don't. And hopefully these videos get out there and reach somebody and help them. Give you a little bit of information, help you learn something maybe. I'm not the gift of RC by no means. We just fiddle a lot around stuff. Mechanic my whole life in trade, and we do things. I've built many of stuff from mud trucks to drag racing vehicles, and I won't say cars because it's cars, trucks, a little bit of everything. Off-road Jeep rolling up at Paragon up in PA, some Roush Creek. Never made it to the Badlands, unfortunately. May build another one, I don't know. I keep thinking about it and I'm like, would you stop being stupid? Stick with little trucks and just stop it. Stop the madness. So, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I'm getting older, I ain't getting younger. But little toy trucks is fun, but yeah, we have a lot of experience in the background of creating, making stuff. It's kind of, for me, it's a lot easier on full-size scale vehicles. You can beat them with a hammer, you can weld, you can cut, you can grind. It just seems a little more flowing for me, even though it's bigger stuff. The smaller stuff, it's always a learning game of like, how can I do this? I don't have a TIG welder, so I'm welding C1 bumpers with a MIG welder that's not really designed to be that intricate, for whatever words you want to use. the attention to detail is not exactly there, except for a lot more cleanup work afterward. It's an older welder. It's not in the best of condition. It's been around since I was a kid. My dad had it, and I learned how to weld on it, and I'm 46 years old. So, yeah, been around a little while, and it's a little war. So I think I'm going to, some point, pick up a TIG. Nothing too crazy, just something enough to be able to burn it in. If I have to add some wire to it, I add wire. If not, then you just kind of burn the spots, fuse it, more or less, and call it good. So, without blowing this video out of proportion and getting off the beaten trail, no pun intended, if that was a pun, trail, trucks, four-wheel drive, crawlers, you get it? No, I'm just kidding. But let's move on to my favorite build so far. Loving this thing. It's just, I don't know, I enjoy working on it. Right now the body is still drying. I can still smell the fumes coming out of it. But, yeah. Not this one. Let me reach over here. Ooh, so pretty. Kind of girly, but yeah, there she is. I promised you folks a video on this, and we're gonna get there. A little quick review on it of what I think, what I like. There's not much I don't like. I'll tell you that right now. About testing wise on the rocks, I don't know yet. Just in here on things, on like some BS obstacles and things of that nature, just to see what it does, to see how the chassis reacts, how it goes over things, etc., etc. There is still some tweaking we need to do on it, but for right now, it's pretty good. I have no complaints as of yet. The rocks will tell the truth. Tire wise, they're a little bit smaller than what I like. Good example here. If we can get that in the frame there a little bit. Now, a little squishy there. The air downs are a little squish, but gives you an idea. 475 J-Concept rock block compared to the KLR V2s. Smaller tire. I don't know if I'm going to worry about it, though. Less sidewall. A little more precision on steering. Can be, even though it is pretty aired down, quote-unquote. These are a little bit stiffer, not much. I mean, they got a little bit more firmness to them. Rock Block seems to like that. We'll get that into that at a different time. But these tires are probably going to run on this at some point. That's kind of what I have them set up for. I think I have to play around a little bit with the offset if these will work with that. I don't know yet, because it's wide as it is with the portal, coming to you with the portal deal here, and I don't know. So we have some figuring out to do with those. May end up going on these rims, may end up going on a different rim. It's all to be figured. But anyhow, there it is. It's the Ottsix Wizard, Voodoo Racing, Ottsix Racing. More or less Ottsix is what they brand it as. I went with the Coyote body. The body, I have the other body. You know what? I'll get that body because we got to explain it. So this, the Critter, it comes with the kit. And it is a cab-only kit. Now, yes, I keep it in a bag because it does not have any protective film over it. So I'm trying to keep it as nice as possible because we will use it at some point. I don't know on what. Maybe on this down the road. Who knows? I just want the full body. I don't mind a cab. I have no objections on a cab. Other than you roll the truck or something happens, whatever, a boo-boo on the course, and your shock towers are just hanging out the rear of your chassis, etc., etc. I know it's not too big of a deal, but on my Red Cat Ascent that's hanging over here, I've rolled that thing before with the other cab. I've put full bodies on it since because it just kept tearing up, not breaking, so to say, but tearing up the backs, your shock towers and all. So I'm kind of like, let's get a little more bounce, a little more protection. So I'll go with more full body. This body will work with the bigger tire. I already have that figured out, all cut, trimmed, real nice. Got fancy, but their body, this is a Proline Coyote. You probably recognize it. The wife got a Coyote. She wanted one. She crawls for fun. She don't really comp or nothing, but I'm pushing that button. We're getting there. She just got to get a little bit better. But I went with the Coyote body just because, I mean, it's cool. It's a beep beep Ford Ranger, if anybody knows the videos. It's basically what this thing is. If you can't tell from that front end there, yeah, it's a Ford Ranger. So anyway, long story. There's a backstory to that around here, other than that video. So just hang on to that. But anyhow, their body is fantastically thick. I mean, this is freaking serious. I don't know how it would do in self-righting. I don't know how it would do in rolling over in turtle fat. I don't know any of that stuff. Or if it's even worth a crap for self-righting. Not sure, but it is stout. All kind of Toyota-ish. I'm guessing it has that appearance. Somewhere in the 2000s Toyota, maybe late 90s. I'm not sure. I'm not a real big Toyota guy. They're cool for crawling, but that's all I'm going to use it for. but no, this body is, clear. I can imagine the gloss that would come out of this finish. Little bubbles and like almost looks like if you're into auto body, like fisheye kind of look to it, but who cares? I'm not that worried about it. But I mean, this thing's stout. The back is got a little thin there on the mold, probably pushed down, got a little bit thinner. But your top, your hood, the front end is just, that's a serious body. I wish they would make a bed. If they would make a bed that I can attach, like I don't care, 2 pieces, fine with me. Give me a bed to match this critter, and it would be slick looking, because when you paint this thing up just plain, don't get all fancy. Just do a plain color paint job. Put that thing on. It has a cool appearance to it. I've seen some other builds. The body's just really cool looking on the truck. It just looks a little lost, for lack of a better term. It's pretty lost on here, as short as it is. It's got more booty than cab, and it kind of looks funny, but it looks cool at the same time. But anyhow, that's the body you get in the kit. Now, I said kit. I'm talking kit. This thing is a kit. It's old school kit, back in the day kit, similar to like your Techno and your Associated and your TLR kits of race kind of kit is what it reminds me of, but so much better. Hardware better. The machining, the fitment, every hole matches to every screw, the bracket, to the motor mount. You name it, it fits. That is why I'm in love with this kit. It is attention to detail overload. My OCD loves it. I like it. I like it a lot. It's nice. So anyway, careful with the body because it's still, ooh, oh, easy baby. Still in drying mode to a degree. It's been sitting around for a day, but I can still smell it. So we got to be. We're just gonna leave it alone. I shouldn't even stick it on here really, but anyhow, Ottsix Wizard. You get this kit. It is a kit. There's no electronics, of course. We should know that by now, I hope. You're getting a very nice kit for the money. Now, this was at a $500 price range, what I bought it for. It was talk about the price going up to like an $800 range area. Yeah, it sounds terrible. Oh, man, it was at $5. Introduction type price. When it gets out there for a little while, it might go up. I don't know yet. I haven't checked the website. I probably should have researched that, just to help you out a little bit more. But you're getting a kit. All right, and this kit consists of everything with the electronics. You're getting the frame rails, you're getting all your bracketry, your motor mount, your gear, your spur gear. Cover comes with it. You're getting drive shafts, you're getting links. You got your carrier up here, you're getting axles. Not only do you get axles, but you get, the axles have 2 different versions, and we're going to get into how that works. The 2 different versions, of course, is straight axle, portal axle. You're getting both of those options with this kit for the money. So even if this kit does go up to an $800 price range, what you're getting out of this kit, I do not think is bad. It's not, as long as you got the $800 you want to put into it, it's worth it. It's well worth it, in my opinion. Just the way it's built, the machining, the love, the care that went into this, it is worth it. And I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not getting paid or getting any kind of kickbacks from Voodoo or Ottsix or anybody for going over this thing. I just wanted to do a specific video on this truck since I've recently built it, finally got it operational, because it's been sitting a while because I got so many other projects over here. You got this critter back here. I've been changing and fitting bodies on. It's a C1, trying to get back to this one, doing this, doing that, working on the wife's. It was just all over the place. So now we finally got to the point where, all right, I can concentrate on this. I'm going to get the parts I need. We're going to finish this thing up and just, let's get it over with already. So we finally got it over with for the most part. Still some other stuff we got to do, but for the most part, it's complete. It's operational and works. I was going to drive it in, but I didn't bring a battery out with me. Cold. I don't leave them out here in the cold. I was going to bring a battery out. Didn't. So I'm like, you know what? We're not going to go running around like a nut and get everything. So it's here it is. So with the kit, again, frame rails, shocks, all your links, tires and rims, inserts, and these inserts are not cheap. They're the halos. They give you all that in this kit. And again, $500 would have cost me if it went up to the $800 that was talked about. You are getting a lot. Give you an example. My next truck will be an XO. I'm going to build an XO. Their platform meshes with my brain. We'll put it that way. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. So you figure on an XO platform, you're getting a chassis kit, which gives you, you get your transmission, things of that nature and whatever. You get links, you get the frame rails, maybe a servo mount. I'm trying to think back of what I looked at in the kit. It's a $500 kit. All right, you don't get a cab either. Yeah, Voodoo's giving you a cab. You're not getting tires and rims. You're not getting axles. Again, like I said, you get transmission. You're not getting drive shafts. You're just getting a chassis kit. So your chassis kit, let me reach over here real quick. There's my charger. That was great to have on video. Oh, iCharger goes down, man down. So, more or less, something of this nature, this is an older chassis, something of that nature is what you're going to get for $500 through XO, through possibly Corrupt Carbon Works, Deluxe, maybe more. I mean, they all make nice stuff. Don't get me wrong. The R&D that's in all of those products is phenomenal. I'm not... Woohoo, get away from the wires. I am not downing anybody for any... They make fantastic products. Just like this old feller back here. Is everything going to fall? This feller here is old Black Sheep. R.I.P. Black Sheep, but I wish I bought another one before they went out. This thing does stuff that, I don't know, it just does stuff. That's all I'm going to say. It makes me look good. It's not me, it's the truck. This thing's a beast. It works. But anyhow, for the money you're going to invest into this, even if it is the $800 price tag, if it does go up to that, or has, you're getting so much with it. The axles themselves cost as much as the kit. All right, let's just put it that way. In the $500 range. It's just fantastic what they have. So, going over it right quick, we'll start up, because carbon rails, I love the fact that they actually, if you can see, yeah, a little bit there. I got to look, I have monitor problems, so I have a monitor over yonder. I have to look way over there. I can't look in front of me. Anyhow, they countersunk the screws, the 4 screws, 2 on each side, for the motor plate. Love it. Just absolutely clean. The carbon cutout is clean. Not very squared edges, not razor sharp. I didn't do any sanding on it, no nothing for cleanup. Again, it's a heck of a build. Now a lot of people are like, oh, look at the skid, it's kind of in the center. I'm not that worried about it. Yeah, skid forward has its advantages, don't get me wrong. Your weight bias in this particular rig, it's, if I can get my hand in the right spot, it's right there at the skid is where I can just about balance it. I got to be on the, it's hard to do with your finger, but I got to be on the lower front links just a little bit, and the truck sits the way it is now. Now, corner scale, I'm still working on all that, so bear with me. But this thing here, when I test it in here and put it on something, and I set it on the front just past the tires, so the tires, you're going over something, and it gets past it. If it gets up into here, as soon as it gets to that point, and I set this thing on something, dude, this thing just slides right off. I mean, just goes. So your breakover, I don't know how it's going to be on the rocks yet, if it's going to be that aggressive, but the breakover on this thing in here testing is showing very, very good signs of it's going to work. And it's going to work pretty badass. So there's that part. Delrin skid. Delrin skid comes threaded. They literally threaded the holes in the Delrin plastic, whatever you want to call it, in the skid. You can literally, when you put this kit together, you can literally take your fingers on almost 99.9% of the screws that are fitted to this machine and thread them in by hand to start them. You don't have to start them with a screwdriver pushing in the plastic or anything, or kind of be wonky. Oh, it's a little off center. I got to go in on an angle and force it. Some kits are like that. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but some kits are like that. This kit was not like that. Every hole fit. I did not struggle with a hole. And that is what makes me so excited. As a mechanic by trade, technician, whatever you want to call me, builder, fabricator, I do a little bit of every darn thing where I work. I cannot thank that company enough for taking the time and precisely building something like that. Makes the money. And when I first bought it, I've seen reviews on it. I'm like, okay, is it that good? Everybody puts reviews. People are paid, but you get some people that are out there. I'm not saying you get paid, but you get kickbacks off of stuff. So they're always going to tell you, oh, the Bamboo Labs printer is the best ever. And you buy a Bamboo Labs printer and it sucks for you. It's like it's personal at that point. But they're getting paid to boost it. Bamboo's throwing them a printer. Hey, talk good about this piece of crap. And I'm not saying it's a piece of crap. Bamboo makes good stuff, but I'm just using that as an example. So somebody would be like, oh yeah, you got to go out and you got to buy the. And sorry, Deluxe, I'm going to use you. I'm going to buy the Deluxe whatever. I don't even know what model you want. And I'm going to review it, or they're like, oh, take this thing and review it, whatever. Oh, since they gave it to me, oh, yeah, just the greatest thing ever. And it could be the biggest pile of crap. And I'm not saying it is. Deluxe makes some, they make some pretty stuff. Out of my pocket range a lot of times, but their stuff is nice. It is nice. Yeah. I got my brain on Deluxe right now. Holy crap. I should have never brought that up. But anyhow, you get what I'm saying. Reviews are subjective. Reviews can be utter bullcrap. Got to take it with a grain of salt. Not everybody's opinion is going to match your opinion. Not everybody's driving style matches your driving style or your wants or your needs. This truck might fare well out west and suck in the northeast, which highly unlikely, but I'm just saying, you don't know. So you got to watch YouTube a lot of times. We're not endorsed by nobody. I do this just for the heck of it. I like doing videos. I will put it that way. I'm not going to go into my whole entire past. I've done it before. But I don't mind doing it. I don't mind showing people something, hopefully teaching them something, make their life easier if they do know, if they don't know. Maybe it's something you never thought of before. Here we are. But if you haven't spent money on a rig, this thing, again, I can't rave about it enough. Let's get back into the parts of it. So Delrin skid, they pinch it front and rear. It's a little bit narrow, so they kind of go through and they pinch it. It has its point. We're not going to get into that at the moment. But the bumpers I put on, don't mind those. The Voodoo shocks, very stiff. I'm going to tell you right now, if you buy one of these and you put it together, the shocks are extremely stiff. You're going to think there's something wrong with them. We're like, oh my God, I got to put 10 weight oil in them. I have 40 in these, and it's finally getting a little bit better the more I keep messing with this truck. It has nothing to do with the shocks being bad or nothing. Their tolerances are very tight. Their seals are very tight. When you first get it, they need time to break in. They are not going to be the most responsive shock. They're not going to fall like a lot of other manufacturer shocks where, there they go. When you get a shock that in the first time you use it, a lot of times that shock is not going to last that long without spewing its internals all over the place, okay? Yeah. A very loose shock is nice in the beginning, but don't expect it to not leak at some point because it's not going to do it. These things here, I like as a mechanic in my head how things work. Yes, it has a tolerance. You don't want it too tight, you'll ruin the seal. You can roll the seal, rip the seal if it gets on something, the threads while you're putting a shock together or doing whatever you're doing with it. But the shock seal has to have a certain amount of tightness to it. A lot of these shocks you can't compress. You don't have a packing nut or a jam nut, whatever you call it. It's a packing nut to tighten up on that packing to make it seal again. So once it is, it is. I like it to be just snug. I mean, it still moves, but it moves, especially the backs. It just moves slowly for the time being. It's going to wear into itself. So wearing into itself closes gaps. Those gaps closed means a better seal, less chance of leaking. So my theory may not be everybody's theory, but that's how it works. It's how it's made sense. And everything from mud bog to truck and tractor pulling to sprint car racing, dirt tracks, whatever. That has worked for me for years. So we just move it on to different scale. But the shocks are great. I have no problem with them. I actually was putting GTS shocks, Traxxas. I'm kind of anti-Traxxas except for a couple other things. They make some good product. Don't get me wrong. I'm not into the Traxxas RTR, Traxxas Colt, whatever you want to call it. I'm just not a Traxxas guy. I got a few, but that's not my deal. We'll leave it at that. So, tried the GTS shocks on it to get a little more travel, see if I could get more travel out of it with a shock, because these shocks seem to run short. I'm like, all right, let me put a GTS shock on there. And I tried the 90s, I tried the 100s. Didn't really make a darn bit of difference. It really whacked out my suspension geometry in the front, being that it's a CMS and it's a 3-link. So you have a Panhard bar, you have a drag link for your steering. It really whacked that out, and I didn't want that much lift in the front. So I tried it just in the front and the rear. Well, kept the stock ones in the front, went to the rear, put longer ones on the back. Let's see if I can get some more flex out of it. It was still wonky. The factory shocks seem to be working out pretty good. The rocks will tell the truth when we get it out there, but there's nothing wrong with the factory shocks. I like them. You can invert them. I just put them on that way. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me which way they go. Clearance-wise, you got enough. Even the bigger tires, I might have to adjust my travel. But steering-wise, I mean, the steering angle is pretty good. You can see it. I mean, you're down near 45 degrees, somewhere in that area, if not more. You could get a little more, adjust toe. I haven't got that far. The steering angle is great, and this is on the Portal. The steering angle on the straights, I swear, is more. I didn't measure it. I should have. But it just fantastic. Now, you're probably asking that question, be like, what are you talking about, straights and Portal, yada, yada, whatever? Well, this axle does both. They have an outer, which I didn't grab. It's hanging up on the shelf. I should have grabbed it. Right here, let's try to get it in frame. Look at my monitor over there. Focus there, old camera. Yeah, we're not on like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10K. We're still on 1080, all right? we don't invest that much into this stuff anymore. Used to. Anyhow, little screw right there. Pop that screw out. Take your linkages off. That shoulder right there where you see that, can you see the step? Try to get it. Yep, there you go. There's a little step right there. This whole thing comes off. Pops off. Stays together, shaft and all. And then you take your standard straight axle knuckle, slide it in, put the screw back in, hook up your stuff. So your center section of axle doesn't change. You don't take your links off or nothing. You're changing your outer. Taking that off and putting it on. You kind of Element. Element does that except plastic. Element axles you can kind of interchange a little bit. Where Portal, straight. Portal, straight. Portal, straight. It's a very, very cool system. I like it. Theirs is very fitting. It fits like a glove. Their machining is just... If you get the kit, you'll know what I'm talking about. But no, it's a great system. I love it. It gives you the options going back and forth. If you don't have extra axles by chance, and say, you know, you break an axle or something and it's like, crap, you're in the middle of a comp or something like that, you don't have a spare axle, and nobody has one for an Ottsix, or for a Voodoo axle rather. All right, well, for the time being, I'll just switch back to straight. Now, of course, you have to switch them all. All right, unless you want to do a ring and pinion real quick and you have a reverse gear set, because that's what it's going to take to do a mullet. But whichever one you break, you can switch them over. Have them on hand. You could always go back out. You may not have the clearance, but the clearance isn't crazy big on this. Reason why, you see that there's no goofy C-hub here. All right, big drop over here that catches on rocks. You know what I mean? Think you do. Not there. So they're using a very similar hub. You have that clearance. That C-hub right there, the C on the axle, your axle, boy, I'm losing my words. There's no bulk there. It's wide open. You gotta love it. I mean, can we all do that? Can everybody do this? So you don't have as much drop as like a Traxxas axle. So axle has a massive amount of drop for your Portal. But you got that giant C hanging down there, and they turn like crap. As simple as that. You don't get a steering axle in Traxxas is garbage. I don't care what you do, it's garbage. AR44s, they got a little more clearance. Your Red Cat axles, which, you know, everybody hates it for whatever. I used it for the truck, I don't care. I'm not that picky, but giant C-hub on it. Giant drop on that thing. And it just, it does catch on stuff. I mean, you can see it on this critter back here. You got that C, that's what I'm talking about. All right, for those who don't know, you know, nothing, something. Nothing, something. This thing's a different critter. Those things don't matter. That thing does not care. They're there. 525 tire, doesn't care. Not an issue. But you can mullet this very easily. They make a reverse cut gear for the back. I think it's like an 830 or 833. You can put that in. Make sure you do all your mesh. Make sure you shim everything. Make this thing as smooth as possible. And you can mullet it straight axle in the front, Portal in the rear if you choose to do that. I may. I don't know yet. We're going to see how it does in Portal first, because in the Northeast, with our Sharpie rocks, little stabby do flickers, you kind of the portals help around here. It definitely makes a difference. Do you have to have them? No. Are they a godsend in certain times? Yes. Yes. So again, their machine work is top notch, beautiful. I mean, beautiful finish on their axles. I hate to use them. It's gonna break my heart, I tell you. But drive shafts, all steel solid drive shafts. U-joints look good, no binding, no nothing. Transmission smooth. Checked everything for grease. I had a little bit in there. I added some, but at least it came with stuff. I'll give them credit on that. So that is really about it on the kit. I could rave about it for hours and just waste your whole entire time and make a shitty video. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try not to do that. But other than that, it is just, it's worth it. It's worth the pennies. Save your pennies, buy the kit. I have brass in the front. I haven't done the knuckles yet. They were out of stock. I'm waiting. I keep looking. As soon as they're there, we're hitting that buy. No, buy now. You buy now. Hurry up and buy. Movie references. We're going to do a lot of that. I don't watch a lot of TV. I just remember stupid things from stupid movies. I don't know. It just, these things happen. So, anyhow, great kit. Absolutely great kit. Now, we'll get into how I outfitted it. Shocks are factory. I don't have springs on the back shocks because I wanted to, with the amount of weight I have in the front, their spring is a little too stiff, and I didn't have a spring hanging around that was to my liking of the softness I wanted in, my foamy, the softness I wanted in the rear. So until I figure out springs, I got some coming. I'm going to try out, see if it works. If it doesn't, I don't know. I'm not opposed to running it without springs in the back. I don't really care. It's not, I'm not a full droop for life kind of guy, but I do like a lot of droop. I like that suspension to be down, but I still want a little bit. So I got to figure out something down there so it's not just banging on the bottom. I do want a little bit of movement in my suspension, in my shocks. I just don't know what we're doing yet. Fronts are factory spring. They're about in that area I like. And I don't know. I didn't measure how much, but you can see that little bit. It's got a little bit of play. That's all I want. I want this thing low, but I want a little tiny bit. It seems to like it. All my other rigs are in that same vicinity. This one sits a little bit higher with the lizards, but I can't go too much lower, or it's just, I don't know, something in that truck, it just doesn't like to be all the way down. So I do have an internal light spring in there to hold it up just a little bit more, and I'm leaving it alone. It likes it. Done. Thing was an animal up there, a white rose, just playing around with it for the first time, comping with it. And it shed some light on it. I was comping with another fellow, and he's just like, dude, how is that thing doing that? I'm like, ask the truck, don't ask me. I'm just an idiot with a transmitter in my hand. I don't know. It did things for me. And I have a feeling that this is going to do the same thing. I'm pretty excited, to say in the least. But anyhow, I use Spectrum stuff. I've had Spectrum for years. My airplane stuff and aviation stuff is all Spectrum. There's a lot of hate on Spectrum. People don't like it, this and that. And I'm not saying, like, you buy a ready-to-run Spectrum and their electronics they're par. Okay? There's nothing wrong with them. They do the job. You will graduate past it. It's box stock. It's ready-to-run stuff. And, I mean, I'm not saying it's junk. It's not terrible for brushless stuff ready to run. There's more there's more out there. But remote-wise, I mean, I used it for my, let me grab it, for my Go Fast stuff. My sprint cars, things of that nature. I mean, it's just the X5 Pro. Can I get it in frame? Hello? Yeah, thank you. The X5 Pro. Nothing special about it. It is basic. I'm still running double A's. I haven't even put a LiPo in it. It's got a little thumb thing for the rear steer for that critter back here. So I got that going for me there. I don't know how much I like it. I wish I could get something on this that would spring load return me to center. It would just make life so much more dreamy out there, where I'm like, all right, get it in the center, and just waste of time paying attention. Sometimes I don't care. I'll crab walk a little bit after half the course, but it's been good. In a fit of rage, it's been thrown a couple times. I'm proud of that. Not really, but these things do happen at times. So when you got a short fuse, the remote's the first thing in your hand. Sometimes it flies. It flies away like a bird. So, and it goes away from you, but it's held up. I haven't thrown it since I put the angle on this, so I don't know how good that's going to be, but it's been a trooper. So I just keep using it. I don't care. If I drop it, it gets scratched. It's been through its paces. So I got it. Use it. So I got their little receivers in there, if you can see it. It's hiding. This one's got a 313 or 315 because I don't need that many channels in it. I got steering, got throttle, got a winch. That's all I need. This critter here's got 5 channel in it because it's got steering, it's got motor, it's got winch, it's got steering again. So yeah, we're adding things to it to where before the 315 was fine for rear steer because I didn't have a winch on it. So I used the auxiliary. Well, now I need another auxiliary for the winch and the rear steer. I got to separate all that. So I just, the rabbit hole, there it is. It continues. So anyhow, Spectrum is in it. It's been good to me. Can't complain. Don't mind me. I know somebody's probably like, what is this thing here? Like, you got some kind of adapter. Yeah, I do have an adapter on it for right now because I was too lazy yet to solder on the XT30. Or, I don't know if I'm going to leave the XT30. I don't know if I'm going to leave and keep an XT60 on here, change my batteries up or not. I don't know yet. We're still in that phase. So, for right now, I was just using my 4-cell with the XT30 on it, and that's why I have an adapter. So, it's not going to stay there forever, folks, so don't be hating on my adapter thing here. It's got feelings too, all right? So, just mounted there. Wiring, make sure that's neat. I'm advocate of that. And I know, yes, it can be neater. You can put some Alex loom on there. I get it. I hate that stuff for the reason of if I need to service this out in the field or whatever, or real quick, whatever I got to do to it. Serviceability of covering that with loom, shrink wrapping it, making it all nice. Yes, it looks really good. But if you plan on working on your vehicle, changing something, or something goes wrong and you need to switch something out, it's bad enough that I have it kind of nice and neat and tight, not rubbing on nothing as it is, let alone dealing with taking loom off and having to do this and having to do that. Forget that. Make sure your wiring is nice and snug. It's not rubbing on anything. Not too tight. You don't want to test the tensile strength of your connections. But make sure it's snug enough to where it's not going to rub. It's clean. Use insulated clamps. So these are just little plastic cheap jobbers. I think you can get them at possibly Home Depot, Harbor Freight, whatever. Amazon probably. I've had them for years. So we use them. And that's all I got. They're all around the place. Cool thing Ottsix gives you on your motor plate. Let me see if I can get it in the camera. There we go. Top of the motor plate. We're going to look over here. See that little... I'm walking away here. I can't go backwards. I'm stupid. That little hole there in between the wire and my... Oh, good Lord. The foamy thing. Over here, dummy. All right. We got it. That little hole there, there's 3 threaded holes in the top of that after going through that crap. 3 threaded holes in the top of that motor plate. I don't know if they're there for a reason and Ottsix has something else going on or what. I love those holes. You can put a 3mm screw in there with your insulated clamp, hold all your wires, put everything makes a nice bridge right over your drive shaft, okay? They do make a transmission that is motor mount trans, okay? Motor mount transfer case, whatever you want to call it. I like this setup. I'm going to leave it for now. I don't know if I'm going to go that route. Probably not, because then it becomes 4-link and all that other crap. Mostly that's for if you want to go servo on axle. I don't care to do that because I'm going to go on a rant that I don't want to go on right now, but here we are. Sorka's scale stuff is not... I hate scale points. I don't mind running Sorka, but I hate the scale point aspect of it. Where chassis mounted servo, how the truck comes. Nothing wrong with it. People hate on it. I don't care. Nothing wrong with it to me. That's how your vehicle, if you want to go scale, that's how your real vehicle is. Unless you're putting hydraulic steering on it. All right, that's the only way of going axle mounted steering. Your Jeeps, would you use that? Anybody who crawls, the XJ, all right, the throwaway rock roller, Samurai, pickup trucks, I don't care what it is. Your steering box is mounted on the chassis, and you have a drag link going to your knuckle, to a tie rod, steering arm, however the hell it's set up. That's how it's set up. Every single vehicle. So you want to get all scaly, that's scale. Axle mounted is not scale. Unless you get into class 3, I agree with that. But I think 1 and 2, the way the rules are set. I knew we were going to go off the rails with this. The way the rules are set, it's not scaly. It's kind of scaly to what they want to scale, not to what it should be. It's got to be scale. It's got to be this. It's got to be a daily driver, but then it's not. So, different. We'll do a whole rant video on that maybe one day. maybe live. Who knows? But anyhow, let's get back to the basics of this thing. So NSDRC, I do like their servos. A lot of people will say that it's like, well, Amazon servo will do the same thing, etc., etc. Yes and no. Can you get a servo on Amazon that will be as powerful? Yeah, probably. Find one. I know you can. Will it be as quick? Probably not. Depends if you need that quickness. I like it for shaky shakes, if you got to shake off of something or whatever I need it for. Do I use that speed all the time? Absolutely not. But it's there. It's there in case you need it. So NSDRC has been very good about that. I like them. I've tried a Reese before. Something about it, it didn't jive with me. I do have a micro Reese servo on one of my minis, or micro, or whatever you want to do. Ascent 18. It's been good. I do like the action of, and there is, my little foamy, there is a little bit different in the action in the micro servo from steering servo from NSDRC. There's just something about them that I like. I haven't pinpointed exactly what that is just yet, but they work. A lot of their servos are happier on 4S. So if you're into the comp stuff, where I like my 4S in comp, 3S is fine for whatever. And you could go back and forth with this one, 3S or 4S, because the electronics in it. But NSDRCs are happier on 4S. Now, if you're a 3S person, I think it's Flash Hobby and like a AR, oh my lord, AGFRC, I think it is on Amazon. They seem to be happier on 3S. 3S will work with RS700, which I do like this servo. A little lower profile. It's your low profile servo, just to keep your top end, your CG down. That's the whole point. Does that a little bit matter? Probably not. In my mind, it does. It's important. All right. It's probably not that big of a deal, but I like it. It's just my thing. So RS700 is in just about everything I got. RS700 is in this, my other C2, my C1 has a shift in it, which is probably going to get an RS700 at some point. Maybe, if it needs it, because it runs 419, so I don't really need all of that. Depends on the power you need. This really doesn't need it. It's servo on axle. My other C2 is servo on axle. You can get away with less. You can probably go with like an RS500, not low pro, but you can go with a lesser low pro, maybe like a 25 kg or something of that nature. You don't need all that fight out of the servo. Chassis mounted servo, like, it takes a little bit more sometimes to get it to do what it needs to do. The geometry of it. We won't go into that right now. But anyhow, NSDRC is what's in there. Spectrum, we went over that. Holmes Hobby. Now, I've heard, getting more and more deeper into the comp thing, okay? There's people who are like, Holmes is just junk. It's rebranded this, rebranded that. Maybe so, whatever. I don't care. I don't care what they do with their motor. If it's a rebranded motor, if they make it themselves, if it's to their spec, or it's just a secure with their name on it. I don't care. It works. Does the job. Their electronics, if it's where, like, this could be something like if they're making them in-house or ESC, or if they got somebody else making them, I don't care. Whatever software and how they tune these from the box has been nothing but great. All right. Works. Put it in there. Go. I haven't had to mess with nothing. Nothing at all. It's been wonderful. They give you a little programmer thing for it. I haven't even messed with it. I'm like, let's see what it does. Let's see if, like, and the guy from there, I forget his name, he's always like, just plug and go. Here's your controller, and, on your YouTube video that he made, here's your program card that plugs into it or whatever. You hang on to it, of course. Don't throw it away. Keep it somewhere you're going to know where it's at. I mean, get a Holmes Hobby sticker and put it on a little box and keep it. I don't have a little box around here. I'd probably be whipping it around. And he's like, but you don't have to do it. It's ready to go. Well, no truer words have been spoken by him. It's ready to go. It is smooth as glass. I have no complaints. No complaints at all. So Holmes Hobby went in at Holmes Hobby, I think it's the Revolver. Yes, Revolver V3. It is an 1800 kV. Now, 1800 kV on the portals, it's a pretty happy area. I like that. 1800 kV on a solid axle truck. Say, we'll use Element for example. If I switch from portal or axial, well, whatever, we'll just stay Element. I'm going to get off. Whew, here we go. Portal to straight axle. Straight axle, you're probably going to be in that realm of a 1200 kV unless you do some gearing down. It's going to move faster. You don't have the reduction in the portals. Portals have a reduction, so you're going to speed up your motor because the portals are slowing you down. Not in the world of Ottsix racing in the Wizard. The Wizard does wizard things, okay? So, their axle doesn't matter. It's 1-to-1. It's all 1-to-1. It's the same thing. So 1800 kV is going to be the same speed. Portal, it's going to be the same speed straight axle. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Your overdrive is in your ring and pinion. That is a little bit of a not so easy change, okay? But if you're into the comp world and you've built and you've come this far, if you complain about doing a ring and pinion, stop. Stop it. Okay? Stop it. It's not that bad. You've done all this already. It's not that bad. But anyway, the 1-to-1 ratio is just fantastic. Fantastic. No change and no BS. No gear change. Once you find a gear you like, stay with it, and now you can play around portal, straight axle, mullet, whatever you want to do. Boom. All right, they did it for you. Thank you. So, that's another perk of this critter. But yeah, that's all I run. That's all I run. That's all you need in this thing. It has just been a fantastic build. I have been loving it. A few things I'm going to change. I got like my winch spacers. I'm going to probably change that, do something a little different. Just trying to figure out where to get that in the center. A few things I got to tweak on it, but right now it's built. It's functional. It's doing its thing. The body's painted. We're going to get to the doodads. I'm going to probably go on a rant on that again because honestly, and I'll let the cat out of the bag, this is the second time I've taken this video on this truck because the first one I went on a full-out rant because I started talking about Sorco with their scale point thing for doodads. Here we go. And I went off the beaten path and I'm like, we cannot completely do that. That's a different video. But yeah, there's your Ottsix Wizard. Check them out. Check them out online. Ottsix Racing, Voodoo. It's the same company. They do drag racing. Now they got into the crawler thing. They made this little critter. It's been a very fun build. Enjoying it a lot. Still enjoying it, even though it's just about done. I don't mind working. I will always pick it up and try to just mess with it, do something. Got something in my head. Oh yeah, let's do that. I love going back to it because it's so enjoyably easy to work on. Things just fall into place. It happens. It freaking happens. Somebody did it. Thank you. Thank you. In this price range, somebody did it. Okay, so you are creeping up on the XO on the deluxe pricing. You're getting into that type of a vehicle. All right, so if you're... Let's talk about that for 1 second before we go and I make this any longer than it has to be. You want to get into crawling. All right, a lot of people are like, build, build, build. Do you even know if you're going to like it? I mean, pick your vehicle for resale. Red Cat doesn't have a very good resale. I don't know why. I don't mind mine. I have no problem with the truck. There's so much hate on that thing. It angers me. It's been good. It's a Ascend Fusion. It's been good to me. The Vanquish Stance. There's hate on that from certain people. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, and sometimes it stinks. You know what I mean? So, there's nothing wrong with the truck. I have one. It's a plain stance. It's ready to run. It's out of the box. Put a battery in it. Let's go. Yeah, there's things I've changed on it since I bought it. But out of the box, it's not terrible. Can it be better? Yes. Anything can. Is it trash? No. Is the Red Cat Ascend Fusion trash out of the box? My opinion, no. Is the Axial Base Camp trash out of the box? Softer, no. I don't think it's a bad truck. It just needs some work. Front end geometry needs a little touch. They're making an affordable rig for you to they're making an affordable. We'll just go there. It's Voodoo time. Okay, it's Ottsix time. The Coyote, the wife got one. Okay, from Axial. It's not bad. They've righted things on it from the base camp. Same chassis, but they've righted things. So yeah, if you're starting out in the hobby and you want to get something like to go start out with, and you want a kit, it gives you a remote, gives you the truck, it's fully built, ready to go. All you need is a battery and a charger. Some of them have that option, and I say stay away from that. They're going to give you some kind of nickel cad or lithium polymer battery, not nickel cad. Just don't spend that extra bit. Oh, it's got a charger and all. It's junk. It's past. It's in the past. Nickel cad, lithium or not lithium polymer. Can't think of it. Metal hydrate. Nymph. Nickel metal. That's it. Nickel metal hydrate batteries. It's the past. We've been through that. It's over with. Lithium polymer is the stuff we have now. Lipo battery is what you're going to want to go with. Amazon, you could run Z battery. You could run a tattoo battery. The world of Amazon is your playground. You can find cheaper stuff out there. Now, there is some cheaper stuff out there you do not want. All around good purpose, Z. You can't go wrong with a Z battery. Z-E-E-E. Make sure your plug connector is proper. Well, different day we'll go all through that. But you don't have to go crazy expensive on a LiPo. You can buy a charger that'll get you through. Do a little research, see what people are using, go with it. But anyhow, let's go back to the RTR thing. Yeah, I like trains apparently. We go off the rails. So, start off with your RTR, it's fine. You're going to be about $400, $500 deep into it. Call it better of $500 depending on what you go with by the time battery charger, etc., etc. Yeah, it's not the cheapest hobby to get into, but RTR is giving you everything. All right, you've got something to start with. You have a foundation. All right? So say it's like, man, you like the stuff, and you want to get into the comp. You started to dig into that, and you went to one, and it's like, oh, man, this stuff's really cool. You got the gates you're going through, this and that, and I mean, it's your thing. You're jiving with it, all right? So go into that. You're going to want to go into the comp thing. Oh, but you're overwhelmed by going XO or Deluxe when you have a bare bones kit. Like, it's not even a kit. You got bare bones, you got frame rails, you got maybe a transmission, maybe a skid plate, you got your radius rods, or your radius rods. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, basically what it is. You got all your links and everything else. That's about all you got out of your little $500 kit from XO or Carbon or whatever. Where do you go from there? Well, man, what axles do I put in it? What do I do here? What do I do there? This solves that problem for you. And I'm pushing it for them because I think it's a very good way to get into that next level. It's a kit that's going to take you to the next level on the rocks. But it's also a kit that's going to take you to the next build level without having to go from RTR to, I am totally overwhelmed and confused. I don't know what axles to put under it. I don't know poop about what to do at this point. And then you may turn in and be like, screw this, I'm selling it, I'm done with it. This is just too much for me. This bridges that gap in a very good way where it gives you everything in the kit. The instructions are online. It's easy to follow. I mean, you put them on your TV, print them out, do whatever you want to do. Excellent. Bridging that gap. There's always a gap that needs filled. They did it. They did it with this kit, and I can't thank them enough for it. Do I need the kit? No, I'm not going to say I do. I've done enough of this crap of RC stuff for how many years. Was in it in the 90s, got out of it for quite a few years, dove back into it after the brushless and the LiPo stuff came out, so my mind is still thinking like, all right, where's my Novak speed control? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? If you do, welcome to old school. But, you know, mechanical speed control, anybody? Anybody out there? Yeah. I laugh about it because, I mean, it was awesome at the time. And now we look back at it and be like, how did we cope? But that's what we had, all right? So, anyway. Well, I lost track. This is what happens here, okay? So, again, bridging the gap. We'll rewind to that. You're getting that starting point of, it's a roller at that point. I mean, they even give you a little body if you don't know what body to do. You could do that body, put it on there. You make the mounts here for the cab, or you switch them back to here. My mounts here are actually on this one right now because of the stuff I had to switch around for body mounts and the winch and choo-choo. Okay. Yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do here. So anyway, bridging that gap. It's giving you that roller. So then all you have to do is worry about electronics. Well, if you go on their page and look, they can sell you a kit with the electronics that they recommend, which is the Holmes Hobby. Exactly what I have in here now. I did not know that they actually recommended that until after I put it in. I looked online and I'm like, oh, that's the stuff I put in mine anyway. Just because they make good stuff. It works. It absolutely works. You're not going to put a full can in this, by the way. You probably, maybe could. You're going to be very close to your link. Your right side front lower link, your drive shaft, you don't have a lot of room. So in this configuration, if you want to run a full-size can, so like your Hobby Wing Fusion Pro, Fusion SE, the Holmes Hobby 2-in-1, it's a shorter can, maybe. Hard maybe. It's going to be tight. It is going to be tight. I don't know. You ain't got a lot. You ain't got a lot of room. You got hairs. So you're outrunner. You're stuck on an outrunner. The secure stuff is pretty reasonable priced. You can buy it on Amazon. Holmes is $150 for the kit. Well worth it in my view. And again, Holmes Hobby is not paying me to sell their product. I'm just telling you the truth of what I think. It's well worth it. You got a heat sink on top just in case you need it. I'm not saying you will. You may. Depends what you do. But their stuff works. It's very smooth. The secure is actually in this one here. It's not bad. It's a little jumpier at times, but it's controllable. So it could be me. So you can do settings to soften that, but it's noisy as hell. She whines. Now, all Outrunners have a whine to them, some louder than others. This sucker whines. Sometimes it's not that bad, but I mean, forward it's not bad. Reverse just screams. I don't know why. I haven't figured out what is going on here. But it's always been that way, and it doesn't. It's not affected its running. It just does it. The Holmes seems to be a little bit smoother. Just my take on it. So take it for what it's worth. If you want to take my word for it, hey, I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be disappointed with the Holmes system. Even their 2-in-1 that I have in my Vanquish. Very happy with it. Very happy. I cannot. You got haters on everything, and if you hate Holmes Hobbies, hey, good for you. I kind of was on that like manipulate. Well, I wouldn't say manipulation, but listen to other people's BS, and they're like, "Oh, Holmes is junk," and I'm just like, "All right, well, I'll just stay away from it." So I was always on that page, Holmes Hobby stuff. Nobody likes it in the area. Everybody has to have this. Got to do this. Got to do that. NSDRC, I was turned on to that by one of the local drivers around here, and yeah, he wasn't wrong on that. I'm happy with their stuff. Yes, it's a little more costly. I haven't had issues. Maybe somebody has. I haven't. He spoke highly of it. I tried it. Here we are. I got him in everything, except for the shift. I'm not saying shift makes anything bad. They don't. Their stuff is just as good if you ask, and kind of just as good. I think for a comparison between the servo, the shift servo, and an NSDRC servo with the same specs between the shift and the NSDRC, the shift is faster. Is very twitchy. I mean, if you need speed, shift has got it. But the same spec servo from NSDRC and the shift, the speed difference is not enough for me to say, oh, I got to have the shift for the amount of torque that I'm losing in the shift for the speed compared to the NSDRC. NSDRC, I think, has a better balance of speed to power. And that's kind of like I said before, I didn't put my finger on it. That's kind of where I'm headed with it. I think it has a better balance of everything. Just like their micro servo. A lot of people are like, oh man, micro servo will never work at a 10 scale. Depends on your weight. I'm in that 7-pound area on most of my vehicles. This one's actually scaling a little lighter. I got to corner scale it again. I'm not done. But that winch there on my Vanquish is like 7.5 pounds. And I can hold on to that cable and hit the winch and it'll pull the truck right up. If it does that, it's good enough. It's all you need. It's all you need. For me at least. It does everything I need to do, and I have not overworked one yet. They've been great. Micro winch for the win. RS100 for the win. But that's what I have in the truck. And like I said, I'm not going to drag this video on too long. We already have. So that is the Ottsix Wizard. Check them out. Again, bridges the gap between RTR and be like, I want to go a little bit further. Bam. They did it for you. You're ready to go. Your RTR is not bad. You can make things happen with it. But if you want to start getting compy, as I call it, this is going to be your step forward, and very capable truck. You don't have to always go with those massive, big baller kits. Yes, we are going to go. We get to those points. I mean, we all do. If you stick with it long enough, you're going to get there. But you don't have to right off the get-go and be like, I got to have this full-out build comp. It's so much better, blah, blah, blah. Things have their advantages. Things have their disadvantages. Every vehicle has that. Depends on what you need, what you want, and at that point, you don't even know what you need or what you want. So go with something that is pretty much figured out, and this critter is pretty much figured out. It'll do everything you need it to do. I'm a firm believer in that, just the way it's set up. Just the way it's set up. You know it when you look at it. Be like, it's got some things going for it. So if you're looking for that next level, check them out. Voodoo, Ottsix Racing, the Wizard. C2 Wizard, fantastic truck. That's I like it. It's my baby. It's my baby. Yeah, so we put like an axial more form body on it, but it's a Ford Ranger, baby. You know, I've been GM my whole life, but Ford Ranger got a thing going. Ranger was a tough truck back in the day. It still is. You still see these critters, the square body ones. They're hanging around a little bit. Some of the newer style ones are out there. Anybody knows anything with the trucks or whatever, and if you're into vehicles, into cars, Ford Ranger has got a reputation. The trucks, you just can't kill the damn things. Is it ultimately a Mazda? Pretty much. You know, the B2000, I think it was, the Ford Ranger Mazda. Yeah, everybody had their little ties with things like GM and Toyota, GM and Isuzu, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. Ford, Nissan, Ford, Mazda, Ford Probe. It's a freaking was it Mazda or Mitsubishi? I think it was Mazda. Pretty sure Mazda. I think Mitsubishi was Chrysler. But anyhow, we're going to make this video really long for no apparent reason, talking about BS for no... We need to do a live video where we could just spew mindless rhetoric. That'd be great. At some point. As soon as I get enough viewers for this crap. If anybody like this guy's ridiculous. But anyhow, Ford Ranger, it was always a tough truck. So it's kind of like, you know what? We're going to help it out. We're going to try to make a little more toughness with the Ford Ranger appearance. So I hope we're doing something. But anyhow, check them out. Ottsix Racing, Voodoo, same company. The C2 Wizard bridges that gap between full-out build and RTR. It gets you there. It gets you there fast, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed in it. I am not. It was a gamble. I like different things. That's the only reason I have the truck. I looked at it. I told the wife, I'm looking at it, and I'm searching around, and of course the wife's always like, what now? Well, here we go. Rabbit hole is always open at RC Barn Building Critters and C2s. Now, Barn Build RC likes different. I like to find odd stuff. I don't know. I just always have that attraction to like the dumbest shit on earth. And this is not dumb by no means. It turned out to be great. I'm like, you know, let me check it out. The axles are just, I'm looking at it online and I'm like, this thing's got some cool features. And it's a kit. I mean, I'm getting CNC machined aluminum axles, portal, end straight for $500. No brainer. Yeah, buy now. You buy now. Hurry up and buy. So we hurried up and buyed, and here we are. So definitely check them out. Look into it. I think you'll be happy with it. I like it. So without beating a dead horse anymore, we're going to call it good on the Wizard. The Wizard is there. And we're going to go further with it. Maybe another video at some point. Maybe it'll be on the rocks at that point, I hope. We're going to get our doodads on it. I got to put my Sorka legal interior thing. I don't build interiors. I don't strive for those scale point things. I just want to crawl. I enjoy doing it. If I lose because I didn't have a driver, my little skeleton driver wasn't in there hanging out. If that's the case of why I lost, piss on it. I don't give a shit. I had a good run. I'm gonna enjoy what I have. I'm not about all that garbage. It aggravates me, and here we go. So I'm just gonna put my little flat thing in there to keep my electronics hidden because you can't. Sorka's gonna see your stuff. Wah. Okay. So I'm not hating on Sorka. I just think some of the stuff is just whatever, man. Whatever. But I mean, they do good. They give us a playground, so they give us a body to play with. Okay, but might want to reword that. Naughty boy. Okay. Think before you speak, dumbass. So anyhow, Wizard, check them out. We'll conclude. So you guys all have fun out there. Get your stuff built. Get them fancied up. And let's hit some rocks, and hopefully we're going to get through all this crawler stuff and we can move on to something else in the videos. I don't mind talking about crawlers. I'll talk about them all day. If this is the direction, we'll keep going. We don't have to go fast and not carpet tires, but it's set up for carpet. We don't have to... Sprint cars, baby. Oh my God. Love sprint cars. If you can't tell. You know, we don't have to keep doing crawler. We got options. I got an airplane sitting behind me too. I mean, yeah, I got helicopters in the house. I mean, we strive to waste our hard-earned dollars on any kind of remote controlled zippy little toys that we possibly can around here. So we got an 18 scale to go through. We got 24s that I haven't even built yet. They're just sitting over there like, when are you going to finish me, buddy? I'm lonely. So yeah, here we are. But at Barn Build RC, we are ridiculous. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed checking out the Wizard. Hope I pointed out enough stuff for you to get an idea of what you're looking at and what you can get into with this critter, and a build for the masses. It's a very good build that I think that you don't have to be very versed in custom building RC stuff to have a fantastic vehicle of this caliber. They do a lot of the homework for you. They put it in the kit and said, hey, you know what, RTR guy? Here's your next truck. RTR could be your trail rig, but you want to get into some serious rock crawling, we're going to figure it out. We're going to put something together for you that goes in a kit. All you got to do is put electronics in it and go. They give you tires. They give you inserts. They did all the math. Come on, people. It's a no-brainer. Ottsix Wizard. Give it a look. Test it out. Maybe even build it. Till next time, Barn Build RC. We're sending you off on the exploration of the hands. The handy wizard. And we're going to leave on that ridiculous note. Thanks for watching. Check you later.